recent collab with Takashi Murakami and the MLB, specifically with the LA Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs. So, just a bit of context on this drop. The MLB opening day is right around the corner, and the first two games of the season will be played by those two teams, and it's actually going to be the Tokyo series, is what they're calling it. And it's going to take place in Guggenheim at the Tokyo Dome. And so you have these two iconic franchises squaring off in a two-game series to open up the season. The rest of the season will open up, I believe it's March 27th, March 28th. So about 9 to 10 days removed from this two-game series. And so we have this collab which features jerseys, it features hats, features a lot of other accessories, and I'm not sure if y'all got the chance to look at them, but to give just a little bit more context, both franchises do have prominent Japanese players. The Dodgers notably have arguably the best player in the league right now in Shohei Ohtani. They also have Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who was a recent signing. I think he signed, if I'm not mistaken, summer of 2024. And then there is also Roki Sasaki. Not summer of 2024, sorry. The off season leading into last year's 2024 season. My apologies for Yamamoto. But yes, and then the Chicago Cubs have Shota. I'm gonna butcher this name, so do forgive me, but it's Imanaga, I believe is what it is. And then there's Seiya Suzuki. So prominent Japanese players, and so they have this really huge two-game series coming up. Lots of excitement going into it, so why not drop a collab with Murakami? So have you guys had a chance to look at the drop, and if so, what are your opinions on it?
Yeah, I did not see anything about this until you brought it up. And just to give some context on how I feel about Murakami, this dude has been spamming collabs since like 2014, it feels like. And I can only take it for so long, dude. Like, I think his stuff is cool. I do generally... Okay. I generally like his art and what he does, but I dislike the commercial aspect, and just it literally feels like he collaborates with everyone. I mean, in fact, hold on, he just collaborated with Louis Vuitton on 2 full collections, and now he's got this Fan Addicts like MLB drop. Like, that is crazy to me. I feel like when you're an artist, you want to give a bit of a higher class, some show off your art and show that it means something. And so when you're dropping clothes or that are like made in like European factory, actually no, probably made in China, but attached to European luxury brands, and then you're dropping clothes literally made in Nike sweatshops like for this latest MLB stuff, it's confusing and it's annoying for me to see. So it doesn't have to do with the MLB, it's more so on the Murakami side. It feels random.
Yeah, fair. I'm not even that tapped in to the, like I said before, into the fashion scene and all that. And even I know this guy Bam's collabs, bro. He is the #1 bag chaser. And I ain't mad at it, bro. I'm honestly not mad at it. All these other, like you said, all these other designers are keeping like the certain air of like exclusivity to it. And that's cool, but Murakami's bank account is probably crazy, bro. This dude.
Well, I remember this dude was broke. Like during COVID, he like posted on Instagram saying how he had no money. And I was like, 1, how? 2, there's no shot you're in that same position right now with the amount of collabs he's done.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he ramping it up even.
maybe that's it.
Honestly, I'm not mad at it. Like, some of the stuff looks cool. I mean, it's pretty standard. It's just like, once you know it's a Murakami collab coming, you kind of know what you're getting. It looks cool, but nothing that's like I'm like if I was a big baseball head, or even like I know of Otani and that kind of stuff, and maybe you know better Eric. You said he's one of the best or the best player in the league, whatever. But is he considered like one of the greatest of all time yet, or maybe he needs some more World Series?
I would say so. I mean, he's often regarded as a modern day Babe Ruth. Even if he retired tomorrow, I think he'd go down as one of the greatest of all time. Do I think he's done enough? No. He's still had a very short career in the league, but I think, and even many will say, and I will say myself as someone who watched the series, he didn't have a great World Series this past year, and people will not like. It would be a lie if you said that he is the one who got them that chip. So many would say he even had like an underwhelming World Series run this last time around. But you know, numbers don't lie. He's someone who's able to pitch on the elite level and hit on the elite level as well. And he is one of the top base runners in the league. So he can really do it all. So I would say so.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of the impression I got from him, even not following baseball, like just seeing he kind of gives off the impression like the peak performance is going to be so like untouchable that even if he doesn't have the greatest like longevity or whatever, that he's going to be up there at least in those conversations. But all of that is to say, like seeing like the Otani jersey with like the Murakami like cherry blossom type thing, like I'm sure even to me who's not even into baseball, I'm like, man, I'm sure that'd be cool to wear casually and stuff. So I'm sure for Otani fans, there's a reason why this is sold out. But yeah, like Alexi's saying, it's not doing anything crazy for me. I think it's cool though that it's a clever collab with, like you're saying, like the tie-in with the Japanese players doing the series, or like the preseason thing in Japan, and then having the Murakami collab. It all kind of ties in nicely. And it's all like I was taught today as well that they even had like Japanese idols as well doing the first pitch and they were wearing some of the stuff from the collab. So all of this kind of just tying together nicely for like a cultural thing, especially because it seems like especially with Otani taking over the league, but the Japanese players in general, that Japan is going to be really tapped in with the MLB, or they have been, especially with Otani. So yeah. I think it's smart, even if it's not the most exciting for us anyway. Maybe it is for them.
I agree. I think with that connection to Japan and the players, it is smart as a concept. I just think it maybe could have been executed better with more effort. I think like looking at the product, like the hats are cool and like that's what I would expect and like be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense why it'd sell out. But everything else really feels just kind of thrown together. So I just wish there was maybe a bit more intention with the designs and making them stand out a bit more. Or even like, you know, expanding it to a collaboration with not just Murakami, but like also other Japanese artists. Like that would have been cool to see. I think the concept is cool, but the execution's kind of 5 out of 10 for me.
Interesting. I personally will say, man, I am looking at the pieces and I'm a fan of them. This looks to me like a very wholesome collab. I guess I'm thinking more similar to what y'all have alluded to, is the Japanese fans who are probably super excited to see these huge names come in because they don't get to see a player like Otani play year round, right? We as Americans have the luxury of having the MLB right here, and so we have the top talent in the world consistently. So I think this is going to be like a really fun series. Like I think I'm just happy for that like young fan who may be super excited, and now they have something kind of like a piece of memorabilia to be able to, you know, to purchase and then be able to look back on this. And the fact that this kicks off the 2025 season, I think makes it that much more exciting. And these are, again, 2 iconic franchises. So this will be one of those things where it's like maybe in the moment it's not seen as a big deal. I know Alexi has mentioned that Murakami has had a number of collabs, but I'm just thinking about just like the memory that they will hold. Right now, the Dodgers are on a historical run, unfortunately, and so these pieces I think will definitely hold high value in the years to come. So I understand though. I look at some of the pieces, and if I'm looking at it from an unbiased just standpoint, I can understand the desire for just more intentionality, or just, you know, like looking at the flowers on a jersey, like, you know, like it doesn't look like it took that much time. But even on a personal level, I think I will overlook that. And just because I never, I don't know, I don't own any Murakami pieces, but I always see it as like this wholesome high-end brand. So I appreciate it personally, but definitely understand if y'all aren't, or I guess Alexi isn't a fan of the execution. But you know, that doesn't do enough to just like sway me and say this is a bad collab. I think I stand on, you know, this is like a little cool piece. Love it when sports and fashion can intersect with one another. And in the past, the MLB has done collabs with other iconic franchises, like the Yankees have done collabs with like Ralph Lauren. They've done Billionaire Boys, and I think Mad Happy as well. So they've had lots of different collabs, and I always love seeing the little pieces, although I never purchased any myself. Undefeated is another name that stands out. So I always like seeing the MLB collab because I don't know, it's cool to me. It's cool. So I enjoy this one. Won't be purchasing anything myself, but I can appreciate it on a personal level.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think too, the good thing, the one thing on the good side about him doing so many collabs is that there's probably something out there that more aligns with your interests that he's probably collabed with already. So like for me, he did like a New Jeans collab maybe 2 years ago at this point. I didn't get anything because like I don't care about stuff like that. But like if I were to get something from him as a collab, it would be that, because that aligns more with my interests. Versus like Eric, like you said, you're not actually going to get this, but if you were to get something from him, this aligns more, maybe not Dodgers and Cubs, but they say it was like a Yankees jersey or something, then it would align more with your interests. And he just has spread himself out like that. So like there's probably something out there that's more in tune with what you care about. And like he's probably done a collab with something in that field. So
yeah,
that's a good side to that as well.
I think that's a fair take. I think, you know, if there is a real intention there to, you know, democratize his work and make it so anybody can afford or buy a version of his work that's related to something else they like, then you know what? I can respect it. But this one, I'm not a fan of, and I'm not planning to be a customer. So, but overall, you know, if you like it, you like it.